a good 4 minutes after 7 o'clock. Sorry for the wait. We're going to start up on our wooden cabinet once again. So last time what we set up was something for the drawers to kind of limit its movement. So it's a little wonky in editor, but you see that when I let go of it, it does kind of clamp between these two values. There we go, here we go. And if we remember correctly, when we click on play, it's just a little bit tighter. It works much closer to what we want. Trying to get render buffer, interesting. So yeah, if I move in either direction, you see it clamps really closely to what we're asking it to do. And if we select the door and try to rotate it, we also have that clamp in. That was from 2 sessions ago, plus a weekend with the rotation clamps. We got our rotation clamp and we have our translation clamp here. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to set this up so that we can actually open and close these drawers. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we are going to start off by pausing this. We don't need to be quite in the, here we go, quite in the play mode for this. Let's start by the drawer. I have a feeling the drawer is going to be the simplest amongst this. So what we're going to want to do is create ourselves a new script, which is essentially going to create little trigger controllers, or let me have a think here. So we want to replicate what we did on the doors here a little bit, but something that's going to use our new clamping tools instead of the hinge joint. And the way we did this is we had the handle joint here, and we have a door handle. The door handle is an XR grab interactable with a box collider and a rigid body on it. And what happens is once you select that and you try to move it, you know, whatever direction you want it to be. Oops, let's put that back. The door handle joint has this door handle follower on it, and it tries to force target. Yeah, it tries to make it so that the door handle joint follows the door handle as much as possible. I think that's what it is. And I created a little visual to be able to see it. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. So we have 2 new objects on this, and I think that's a little awkward as well. It might actually be a little bit more straightforward now that I really think about it. Let me see here. So we're going back to the cabinet. Do we want to really have 2 extra objects on each one of these, and then one of them tries to rotate? I don't think so. This is what I'm thinking. So we're going to have 1 new object, right? It'll be, in our case, a cube, just so that we can see what we're dealing with here. And the cube's going to be like 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 in size. And we're going to move that cube right up to here. Right over the door handle. And what we're going to do is on this, we're going to add a rigid body that will not use gravity. We don't want this cube to fall to the ground. And what else did we want? Let's take another look at that door over here. Door handle. XR grab. No gravity. Box collider is a trigger. Okay. Go back over here. And we select that and make sure this is set to trigger. Perfect. I'm not sure the rigid body is actually important in this case. I think... Oh, yes it is, because we want the XR interactable thing on it. And that needs it, I believe. XR interactable. interaction, interactor, interaction manager. No, okay, let's go take a look at what it is on the door itself. Over here, it is grab interactable. Of course. Grab is the word I was looking for. So grab item XR grab interactable. And I think we're gonna go ahead and just take the settings from it. Door handle joint. Select event door handle joint is holding false. Interesting. Okay. Retain, transform parent, track position, track rotation. Rotation admittedly is not super important for our needs. Okay. So let's take a look here. Rotation isn't super important. Throw on detach. No, not in our case. Track position, yes. What is smooth position? Apply smoothing while following the position of the interactor selected. Oh, that could be interesting, but not for now. Not for now. Here we go. And retain transform parent. That is absolutely fine. Whether is set to the parent of this object back to its original parent. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Right. Movement instantaneous. Custom reticle and colliders. Let's just make sure the collider for this is currently set on it. As such, this isn't really important. We can leave that as such for now. And we're going to have, okay. We're going to have something for this. We have the rotation clamp currently on this door. I'm thinking what we could add to that is a kind of handle look at. So we're going to have the door look at the handle with using the offset from the rotation clamp. Or maybe a new offset. Okay, let's try that. I probably need a better name for this though. Oh, and I have... Okay. This is going to be... Follow handle? Handle follow? I want something with the word handle in it. And I want to make it clear that this is for rotation purposes. Okay, let's have handle. Look at. Yeah, let's just call it handle look at. It's probably a stupid name, but it'll get the job done. Here we go. And we have translation clamp, translation clamp and rotation clamp. Minimum rotation offset. I am going to want that, I think. So let's just add this in at the top here. We want an offset. Actually, maybe the handle look at wants to have a rotation clamp. And then we can just use the information from the rotation clamp. So we only have to set it once. It'll keep us from making errors down the line. So require component. This is going to be a rotation. No, I think is it like this or is it type of rotation? I think it is. Type of, here we go. And then in here, rotation clamp. It's been a little while since I've had to do that. Here we go. So the idea is when you put the handle look at on something, it's already going to have a rotation clamp, or at the very least, it's going to add one. So you will always have a rotation clamp. And once we do that, we are going to have a private rotation clamp, and it's going to be called underscore rotation clamp. Just keep it simple as such. And on draw on selected, I think it's called draw on gizmo selected. So when we select it for the first time, it's going to do that. It's going to do equals, and it's going to add in our rotation clamp that we definitely have because we're requiring it, or at least that's the hope. Oh, and it looks like I've just gone into VR. All right, let's get out of VR. Okay, I say that. Yeah, I'm looking at the YouTube page for this, and it's a little bit behind. Right now, it's simply it's simply showing me while I was doing stuff on my off screen. Okay, cool. So rotation clamp equals get component rotation clamp. There we go. So it's going to get the component the moment that you click on it, or at least that's the hope. I've never actually tried this before, so it's either about to work or it's about to give us a little error. Actually, it should give us an error right now. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. We have the door, right? What we could also do is when you put that, it creates this cube with the box collider, the rigid body, and the XR grab interactable on it already. I don't hate that. Okay, let's see what we can do here, right? Let's start by doing get component in children, because it's always going to be on a child of it first off. So let's see if this gives us an error, right? XR grab interactable, you select this, and if we take handle look at and put it here, it has not given us an error. Therefore, I think it's good to assume that it's worked. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's do that actually. Let's go back. So this should actually give us an error. Interesting. Let's put ourselves into debug mode and see what it gives us. Rotational clamp. Rotational clamp. Oh, am I being slow? I am. This is rotational clamp. It's on it. This is in the box. Right. Okay. So this is perfectly fine. However, we don't want it to always do that. So rotational clamp equals, and we're also going to check if rotational clamp equals null, question mark. So if it is null, rotation clamp, sorry. If it is null, we're going to add that in. Otherwise, we're going to continue. Oh, you can't do that. Just put it back on. just put it back on. Maybe actually that's not good. Let's make it with an if statement. I'm not sure if it's actually going to keep assigning it over and over. I don't think so. I think it's when you click on it. Implement this on give of your drawing. If the object, yeah, it's kind of an on update sort of thing. So if rotational clamp, right? I think if I do this, it'll be equals null. I think that's the idea. Rotational clamp equals this. but this is get component. So get component, rotation clamp. Right, there we go. Brain is a little bit slow tonight. Here we go. So when you first select it, it should add it in, and if there is already something else in it, it'll just ignore this. Good. Okay. Next thing we're going to want to do is get that box, right? Let us. This is the look at. So we're going to want a, what did I call it? XR grabbable object. XR grab interactable. There we go. XR grab interactable. So private XR grab interactable. And this is going to be underscore handle. Well, that's all we really want here, and it's going to tell me that we have an error, so show potential fixes using this, and that should be good. Cool. Now we're going to do another if check for handle. Right, if this is null, fairly certain that works. Fairly certain. So if that is null, then we're going to generate it outright. We're going to create this thing. So let's just make ourselves a new method down here. It is going to return an XR grab interactable, and it's going to return the handle. So create handle or get handle. Get. There we go. Get handle. Just go ahead and take this and put that there. And hello, new person that has probably joined like 2 minutes ago now, based off of how slow the YouTube is at catching up with what's happening on stream. So right, get handle. First off, we're going to check var XR. So it's already checking here if the handle has something, so we don't have to check it here. But what we are going to do is get a XR grab interactable. We'll call it output as such, and this is going to equal nothing. I'm going to leave that like that for now, because I think if you give it a type, it doesn't give you null. If you then, oh hey Joe, that's who joined us. I think if you give it a variable type, it doesn't return null if it can't find anything. So what we do want is to start off with a var, say handle, just like that, and this is going to equal the handle. So get component in children, and this is XR grab interactable. Fantastic. So it's going to look into all of its children, see if there's something with that, and if it is, handle is going to become that. If it isn't, well, handle is just going to be null. So if handle, if there is something in handle when you do that, we're going to go ahead and just assign that, or just rather output equal handle. Am I allowed to do that? I think I may need to cast it. Cast is redundant. Oh, good. I don't need to cast it. All right. As such then. So output will equal this if there is one, and if there isn't, actually I could just return that, couldn't I? Let's do that. Return handle. I don't need to stick it in anything. Good. If this equals null, if this equals true, then it's going to return handle back there. And otherwise, it is going to continue. Let's do return output to make sure that this is always returning something. Right now, it's not going to be happy because it's unsigned local. Yeah, that's fine. And we are going to do handle equals that. Cool. Right, now we need to create ourselves a handle in the same method that we were doing it a little earlier, but this time in code. And the idea, once again, for doing this in code and doing it the hard way, is that down the line, when I want to add another one, it should just do it itself and be a lot faster. That's the hope. Okay, first things first, let's create ourselves a new game object. So, game object. By the way, Joe, let me know if like the sound is a bit wonky, if my voice is loud or not loud enough, and if the rest of the sound is, you know, too loud or what have you. I did mess around with the sound settings a little bit recently. When I was recording, I realized that the gain on my microphone was a bit low, so there you go. Right, game object. Game object, let's just call it new handle, equals instantiate game object, and it takes in an original game object, right? And then you have the parent, then you have the world position, blah blah blah. These are, we only need these, the game object itself and the parent. So primitive type dot cube. I think that works. Looks like it does. Fantastic. And the parent will be this. No, it'll be transform, sorry. Transform. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay. Let me give myself a little refresher here. Unity, instantiate primitive. Bring this over here. Create print. Oh, game object create primitive. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. So instead of instantiating, what we're going to do is create game object dot create primitive. And what do we have in here? Just type? Really? Okay. Cube. Sure. We'll do it that way. Then we'll have new handle. There we go. Dot transform dot parent. And that is going to equal this. And then after that, we're going to move it. So once again, new handle. Sounds fine to me. Good to hear it. Here we go. Transform dot local position. And this is going to equal vector3.0. Just zero it out, put it at the center of the game object itself. go. You know what? I don't need output after all. What I can do... Oh, no, let's leave it like that for now. Yeah. What we're going to do now is add things to it. So this should already have a box collider, I think. I want to say. That's the case. Let's look into this, right? Require component rigid body, and if we go into rigid body, I don't know how much it's going to allow us to mess around with this though. Require component transform. The rigid body needs a transform. It does need a box collider, or any type of collider for that matter, which is interesting. Okay, sure. So in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to give it if new handle dot get component box collider equal null. Oh wait, doesn't equal null. No, equal null. I want to check if they don't have any, and if it doesn't have any, I want to add it on. Otherwise, I want to leave it there. That's what I'm doing. New handle dot. I think it's on transform. You have to add it. Get component. Add component? No, it's directly here. So add component here. Box collider. There we go. It needs some of these. And we are going to put that box collider somewhere. So if it doesn't have a box collider, we want to add it. And if it does have one, we want to link it. Okay, let's do that. So, bar box collider equals this. And we're going to do this. So if it's null, we do that, and box collider equals this. Otherwise, it's going to already have this. So we'll have access to a box collider. Good. And on the box collider, we want to also make sure that the it is set to isTrigger. There we go. It's going to be true by default. Let's give ourselves some notes to remember what the heck we're doing here. So back up here, this doesn't need to be there. This over here, we can add in a comment saying get a handle if there is one already. And then down here, there was no handle. Make one. Right, so we're going to add the primitive, we're going to set it into positions, and then we're going to check to see if there is a box collider as such, and then we set it to true. That doesn't have to be in there. And then after that, we're going to add the rigid body and add the XR grab interactable. And we will have to change something in the rigid body. So add a rigid body. We don't have to check if it already has one because it shouldn't have one on a primitive by default. So we are going to do new handle dot add component rigid body as such, and we want to hold that information somewhere. So rigid body our body equals that. I may have misspelled it. Okay. I'm fairly certain that was identical, but then again, I'm quite tired tonight, so maybe not. All right, so we have the R body has been created. Now R body, we're going to go and check its gravity. Use gravity equals false. What else did we set on this? I can't remember now. It was... Let's just leave it like that. We can come back later. Yeah. Cool. So let's just do that and then add an XR grab interactable. And once again, we're going to want to keep that, but we already have output here. So output equals new handle dot add component XR grab interactable as such. And now we should have it on there. And then finally we can output that. And the handle should be set to that. Fantastic. All right, let's give it a test and see what happens if we get any errors. I should select the door, and there we go. We've just added a cube. Okay, we're going to want this cube to be smaller. What else? Let's get ourselves out of debug mode. So like 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 in scale, I think is what we're going to want there. As for the cube itself, it has the box collider, it's in trigger, fantastic. Rigid body, use gravity is set to false, good. XR grab interactable, we're going to want to set the colliders, something I forgot. We want to set throw on detach to false, so let's just do that. So far, it's just stuff that's in the XR grab, right? This seems fine. Yeah, this seems fine. So we want to track rotation to false because that's not really important. We want throw on detach to set to false, so that's once again not very important, and we want to add a collider to the grab interactable. Okay. So let's go over here and do output dot throw on detach. It's going to be set to false. What else did we say? Output dot, let's take a look. Track rotation. Yeah, track rotation. Track rotation equals false with an F as such. And then we're going to pop back over here for a moment. And these haven't updated, that is normal. Attach transform, the attachment point to use on the interactable. Yeah, we're not touching that. It's colliders, right. So finally, output dot colliders, yeah. It's a list, so add, and we're going to add the box collider in this. Right. And as for up here, we're going to set its scale, local scale, to 1 times 0.1f, which should put it at 0.1.1.1. There we go. Let us update this. What happens if we delete it? Good. And now I select it, and it creates itself a new box, a new cube. I could also change the name. Handle point. Let's do that. And let's also... turn off the mesh renderer altogether. Okay, so we're going to change the name and we're going to remove the mesh renderer. That should be all done into transform stuff here. So first off, name, new handle, dot name is going to equal, I'm thinking the parent item's name. So transform dot parent dot name plus like underscore. I'm clicking the wrong buttons. Underscore handle, right? And the other thing I wanted to do, other than the name, was to turn off the mesh renderer. Okay. So new handle dot get component mesh renderer dot I could remove that component actually. Okay. New handle dot remove this component. Add component, get component, try component. Can I not remove component? Give me a second. Game object remove component. How do we do this? Delete or remove a component from a game object. Destroy game object. Removes a script instance. Oh, okay. So just destroy. Alright. Let's do that. So, destroy. And we're going to do new handle dot get component. And this is going to be mesh renderer. As such. It's just going to get rid of that. Alright. So give it a save. Go on over to Unity. We're going to delete this cube, and when we select it once more, bloop bloop, we have wooden cabinet handle that appears right there. Oh, it takes the name of the wooden cabinet, not... I thought it would take the name of the wooden cabinet door, but it's the... Alright. And that is just parent. I did it once, right? And look at this. It's the parent of... Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Yeah. So what we want is actually this right there. And now if we remove it and put it back on... I also noticed that the mesh render is in fact still there. Destroy may not be called from edit mode. Oh. Use destroy immediate instead. Okay, good to know. Destroy immediate. As such. Okay. Give it a little save. It's gonna load up. And destroy. And when I select it again, it takes the door name and adds handle to it. We do not have a mesh renderer, which is perfectly fine. And we can just move that around to whichever position we want, which is going to be right up there. Right like that. And we can give it a bit of space as such. And let's see. This has taken the settings we want. I'm thinking maybe even setting these up with scripts so that when I put it on the second door, all I'll have to do is place it at the right place and it should just work. And obviously I'm putting way more effort in this than I need to because I'm hoping to replace these doors with a setup like this down the line. So yeah, it's I think this is going to be good. Okay, right. Now what I want to do, because I do have this setup working here, the get handle, we could even add a little summary to it. So gets the handle applied to the door. If there is one, makes a new one if not. As such, and it returns the XR interactable of the door. As such. Okay, so when we select it, sets this up, we now have access to all this information. Next thing I'm going to want to do is set an initial position for the door handle. Here's the thing though, I was going to set it down here, but that's actually a terrible place to do that. I'm going to set it in, instead of start actually awake, before everything starts moving around. So, let us create a new private underscore, vector3 init position as such, and the initial position is going to be set right here, equals transform dot position. There we go. So we initially set an init position when we select, or rather when we start the game. And this is going to be a thing of like being able to drag it and being able to let go of it, right? So we have this here, let's keep the non-private stuff for things that come from Unity, because it defaults to that anyway. And we're going to add a new public variable right here. This is void, and this is going to be called on hold as such. Just like that, real simple, completely empty, and public void on release as such. There we go. And now my next question, because I have all of this stuff connected already, is can I just select hover, first last hover, activate. Let me see what we have for the door handle, the like original door handle over here. It's using select, and door handle follower is holding. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is select entered. Interactable events. Aha. We want interactable events, then select entered. I don't know if I can set this up actually. Let's find out. This will be in the XR stuff, so output dot interactable. No, I'm not seeing it. Event. Oh no, I'm not seeing it at all. Select entered. Oh, okay. select entered equals I have no idea how to do this. Select entered, get select event, enter event. Use selected exit instead. Okay. I should be able to set this. Select enter event. Select enter event. Huh. Let's look up how to do this. I have no idea. Okay. So, over here. Unity select enter event script. Can I even do this? Is this way too ambitious? Select enter event namespace. Yep. Unity event. So I guess I have to create a Unity event and assign it to it. That seems like it makes a certain amount of sense. Unity event, serialized callback receiver. Woohoo! Inherited members, blah blah blah. Okay. Okay. So it seems to take in a select enter event. Select enter event. Is a type which is not okay. Okay. You know what? This is going to be a lot more fiddling around with than is worthwhile right now, I think. Let's give it one last pass, actually. Add event list, Unity event scripting, add listener. It's not what I want. To selected event. Is that what we were calling it there? Select entered. Select entered is what we were calling it. Select entered. Add listener. Unity events.add listener. I don't think that's what we want though. This is just generally Unity events.add listener. Oh. Do stuff my action. Selected, entered, add listener. And we're going to add in on hold. Is that what we want? Not quite. Okay. Okay, I think we're getting closer though. my action. Okay, it doesn't have open close parentheses. It's just like this. Cannot convert method group to... okay. Show potential fixes. What do we... Generate method. Okay. Let's just add this here. And remove that. Maybe? Okay, okay. Let's do the other one. Output dot select exited dot add listener open close parentheses and on release. Oh. Okay. Did I not do the same down here? Yes, but it doesn't like that. Alright. Add release. Do this. Do that. It gives me this. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, because I have enter event here. Okay, okay. I see how it is. And then we can remove that. We don't need it anymore. Here we go. Perfect. Let's give it a save. We no longer have any errors. We can get rid of that. We can go back over here, select our door once again. And there, it shouldn't have it here. So let's just remove it. And when we select it and it creates a new thing, we can go down and no, it doesn't show up here at least. It might work, but it doesn't show up there. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Unity add listener. Yeah. And we're going to have it inspector. Yeah. If you pick the function name again in a drop-down the inspector, look at the top of the list and you might see the same function under the dynamic function. That's the one you want. Thanks. Okay. I don't think that's what we're looking for. How to add on-click listener and see it in inspector. That looks better. So yeah, it says add listener and it has nothing there. Add persistent listener. For anyone who's searching for the same problem, use this. Add persistent listener. Unity event and function to call. You can reference to this link. Let's take a look. Events tool. So add persistent listener. And then we use the events. Okay. Let's take a look here. Add oh no. Okay, that's not how. This is an event, but it does not quite... add persistent listener. Unity event, and then function to call. Okay. So let's grab all of this then. And I guess what we have to do is this here. The Unity event in question is going to be this, and the function to call is going to be this. And we are going to show potential fixes, add in events, and here we go. Do the same for the exited. Here, on release here, and we can remove these two things here. Okay. All right, so we've saved. Let's go double save just for safety. No, I want to lower that. We are going to select this and get, select this and get rid of it. Select the door so it creates a new one. And now if we go here and scroll down, there we go. On hold, on release, it just adds it in for us. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. So I can move this up here, for instance. And then we have our little square up here. And then when I'm going to add it to door 2, it's going to do the exact same thing. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That's so great. Very, very cool. Okay. So we have our little handle. It is visually there. It is tracking position but not rotation. I'm not sure about smooth position. I might end up using it. Maybe that's what we want. We'll get back to that. Throw on detach is off. This is already set. Oh, this is so good. And these are all already set as well. Oh, I'm loving this. Okay. Okay. Cool. So, next thing we want to do is actually make it move. So far, all we've been doing really is like setting up the base stuff for it. Now we actually want it to move. So let's create a little private, I don't know why I made a space there, private bool underscore is held. And we're going to set that to false at the start. We want it to be false at the start. And this is equal to true. And this is equal to false. There we go. Just that simple. It's going to toggle this to one or the other. So if underscore is held, we have access to the rotational clamp. Okay, that's what I want to make sure of. If is held is true, what we're going to do is have the door attempt to rotate to wherever that handle is. So let's take a look at rotation clamp. Can we use clamp rotation outside of here? Yes, we could. This returns a vector 3. So we're going to change this to a private, I'm sorry, public, the opposite, calculate, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to do clamp rotation. So the transform of the object is going to be clamp rotation, just like this. And we could actually have a little setting to do it autonomously or not. So let's go back over here, is held. I'm going to add that in. That should be an error. There we go. And if we do rotation clamp dot clamp rotation, that should work actually. So when it is being held, it does that, and when it's being released, it is not doing that. And it's trying to rotation clamp rotation. Does clamp rotation take in anything? It does not currently. Hello, Ada. Louis. All right. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna feed the Ada before she explodes. I'll be right back. Are back. All right. So I was taking a look at this clamp rotation. And it's currently using the transform offset. So I'm going to change things a little bit in here. I'm going to take in a value, which is going to be local Euler value. So vector 3, target angle. I'm doubting now. I'm having a little bit too much like stuff looking at the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this clamp rotation, and I'm going to do this transform dot look at the target, which is going to be the handle, as such, dot transform, to be able to get the target right. So now it is looking at it, but it isn't looking at it with the offset that we want. So let me see. Where's the offset? How was I doing the offset? Oops, wrong script. How was I doing the offset here? Grab this. You add the offset, then you remove it after. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work. Okay. Let's try just doing it a look at for now. Look at target. There's some overrides. What else do we have? World up. World position, world up, target. World position, target, world up. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do here then is add myself an exposed variable. This is going to be serialize field, private, vector 3. Build up, and I'm going to just do vector 3 dot up for now as a default, and we're going to add this over here. So if we want to change that later on, it should work, or at least that's my thinking. Maybe this isn't going to work at all. Also, when you release it, I almost forgot, we want transform dot local position. Oh yeah, local position, I realized, is what I want here, is going to equal init position, because that is going to go back to the place it is compared to the door and not just compared to the world, which would be the incorrect place. Oops, I hit my mic there. Yeah, that seems to make a certain amount of sense. Okay, I'm fairly certain the look at is going to break, and I'm going to need to do something to make it rotate. I think essentially I think the offset is going to screw with stuff, but let's find out. It'll be very short. All I need to do is click on play. If it tries to go in 90 degrees, then we just have to add an offset. If it doesn't move, that's because I didn't actually add this on. Is that the case? Look at handle. No. Okay, it's not working. It's not working at all. Oh, because I don't have... I'm not grabbing it. Okay. For now, just do a sin if true. So it's always going in. And then we can, once this works just with this, then we can add it to the other door, move our little box, and I can try to put everything in VR because I think that'd be fun tonight. Go into VR. I think we haven't gone in for a little while now. There we go. Object reference is not set to an instance of an object. Okay, that is an error. Look at handle transform. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is the handle currently empty? Because that's a problem. Yes, debugging for this session. Let's turn it off and back on. Here we go. That's what we want to see. So is it telling me that handle is null? I'm sorry. Handle. That should be set. Okay, let's give it a pause. Go over here. We're going to put ourselves into... Okay, we're not going to put ourselves into anything. Why can't I right click on that? Inspector debug mode. Thank you very much. Select this. Scroll down. Handle. Handle, it does have something. There is something there. Okay. Oh, I double clicked on it. Okay. We see there is currently something here. So if I click on play, let's see what it gives us. Oh. I don't know if you noticed that, but for half a second, they both went to null there, both the rotation clamp and the handle. And we do have like a few instances of it freaking the heck out. And the door did open. Okay. In that case... Let's also do this up here. So we're going to add private void setup. Sure, it's not the best name, but it'll work. And we're going to grab this, put this here. And we're also going to put this up here. So initial position is going to be done. Then after that, the setup is going to be done. And then when we get to update, it should be there. Like we're literally telling it right at the start there to do the setup. So let's see if our error appears once more. And if this stays to none or even goes to none at all. Nope, it did not go to none. And the message we get has nothing to do with this. Good. So that's issue number 1. Issue number 2. Okay. Is the offset, essentially. That's why it's going crazy and trying to open too much or close too much. It's the offset. So what we're going to do here is transform dot local Euler angles is going to plus equals the offset. Let's try that, and if that doesn't work, we'll do the other thing. So this up here, we can change this to be public, or what we can do is write down here. We'll make a public vector 3. We'll call this get offset, and it is going to equal is it this? Rotation offset. I forget how to do this now. Rotation offset. Farm checker. It's been a little while since I've done these. Get stuff. I've been working on another engine recently, as some of you may know. That's not how you do it. So it's get offset equals get. Is it this? And then you do get or how do you do getter setters? Give me a second. I'm having trouble here. Unity get set. Get and set functions, inspectors. Yeah, public int strength. Oh, you can serialize it. Okay. Get set. Yep. That is one way. There's another way that I got used to doing that I liked better. Unvalidate, blah, 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 blah. They're still doing stuff. Get. Network and get set mean. Okay, you know what? Let's just use that. So it is, you open parentheses, close parentheses, you say get, and then that's that. Okay. So it's here, and then you do this, and then you do, get. I just closed it. Here we go. Get, and then return that. Okay. There we go. Just like that. Get offset. I probably should not put that as a capital letter. Let's stick to this. But this is public. What I could also do, instead of doing it here, I'm thinking I could just go down here to the public area and do get, oops, sorry, public, vector 3, get offset. There we go. And then in that we do return offset, rotation offset. There we go. That works. Returns the rotation offset. Returns rotation offset. There we go. Go over here, plus equals, and then we're going to do underscore rotation clamp dot get offset. As so. So it's either plus or minus that we want here. I can't remember which one of the two we should be using, so let's find out. Just click on play and see what happens. Not that one. Not that one at all. So it's gonna be minus equals then. And if this doesn't work, I'm gonna have to actually take out Paint and have a think about this. Give it a play. Or set the offset to 0. Oh, no, we're good. Yeah, so it's correct. This is what we want. The only thing now is that when we let go of it, it doesn't go back to its initial position, which is the reason why it keeps opening or closing. But it is doing what it's supposed to. See right there. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So we go back in here. We change this off of is true. Is held is what we actually want. And I think this is good. I think we're ready to try this in VR. Ooh, exciting. Okay. So select this, get out of debug mode, and we want a handle look at. Not this one, this one. Handle look at. And we're going to move this. Oops. Ooh, my bad. We want this. And move that up to like here. Let's put ourselves in front view for this. Can I do this? Yeah, it looks like I'm okay. I was worried that it was going to clip into something else, but it looks like we're fine. Okay, we'll do that there. We're gonna do that up here. There we go. So we have this here, we have this here, and we're good to go, really. Get out of this mode, give it a save, and now I get to move my headset from my work computer over to my personal computer and hope that it doesn't crash, or rather that it works the first time. It should. I haven't had too much trouble with it. Let's see. Okay. And I now am aware that my music has stopped? No. Okay. We're setting up a HTC. Alright, so maybe I turned my music off just on my headphones? No. Oh, I know what's happening. Rather, I think I know what's happening. There we go. I can hear the music now. Perfect. HTC Vive is set up and ready to go. Good to hear. Making a mess. Oh, this is off to a start. Okay. Let's just click on play and see if my thing starts up. Entering play mode. The headset is not starting up. Oh! Oh! It is starting up. Okay. It's freaking out, but it is starting out. Okay. You guys are gonna want to see what I'm seeing. I would expect. My hands are there. Oop. Go over here. And now if I do this, oh, nothing happens. It's my hand. Oh no. Well, that's not good. Alright. Maximize. And what exactly is happening here? So this is now here, which means I managed to hold on to it, but I haven't managed, like, it, when I let go of it, it did not go back to, oh. On release. This one is not set up correctly. Okay. That's a little problem. Let's just do one of these. Oh. Alright, let's put the handle look at back on it. There we go. And now we select this. Take a look down here. That's good. Go back to this view. I'm not sure why it's set itself to null like that. I can just take it out. And I am actually going to leave it in this view instead of putting it in game view for you guys, because yeah, I want to make sure. I want to know what's happening essentially. Okay, let's leave that as such. Click on play. My headset is still off because I want to see if it's going to set itself to Invisibrew. We look okay now. Okay. Put the headset on. Go over here. And I'm right in front of it. I grab this. And it is opening. I let go of it. And it stops moving. And look at this. Okay. I'm a little thrown off as to why my hand disappears. But I think that's actually normal. There we go. We don't have momentum. If I let go, it doesn't just keep going. Which is, I guess, a little unfortunate, but very static. But look at this. Like, it takes, I'm moving it all the way, yeah, all the way to the 180 mark. Like, my hand is way behind it before it starts going crazy. Otherwise, really crisp. I can be like this. Can I open two at once? Oh, that's interesting. All right, what's happening? It looks like it has not set itself back. It has not set itself back. Okay. I'm going to have to, because you guys saw what happened. I didn't. I saw it in game, so I didn't actually see that little bounding box moving around. Let's try this again, and then we're going to see what happened. Needs to be on my head for this to work, and I hold it and I move it, I let go, I move it and I let go, and you see it has not gone back now. Okay, yeah, it has not gone back. Do I get an error for that? No. Okay, so let's do a little debugging. We're going to attach this to Unity. Is held false. It's clearly going into that, but it might not be doing this properly. Okay. Play once more. Go. Grab, and when I let go, paused. We're in the code. Okay. Held equals false. Let's move on to the next one. Local position, this, is going to equal that. Local position is actually correct. Okay. Continue. Oops. Closed all of Unreal, all of Unity there. So yeah, this isn't the local position that we were seeing at all. Huh. Equals local position. Position of the transform relative to the parent transform. Okay. So definitely is going in here. I'm going to have to take up 2 screens. I'm sorry if anybody writes anything. So this is the initial local position, -2, -1, -0, 3, essentially, right? Now, if I go over here, grab it, just put this up here, and now put it way out. How I go? It has paused. In the other screen, it is telling me that kind of looks like the initial position gets reset. Awake, update, look at Euler angles. Yeah, those aren't the numbers that I want. Okay. So let's just give it a pause here. Let's scroll down. Not this one, into this one. And we're going to put ourselves into debug mode. And we're going to look at the initial position that it gives us when we press on play the first time. And we're going to see if it ever changes. So maybe it's giving us the wrong information. Local position, it's this. Oh, okay, that is the local position. Okay. Except that's not true. Oh wait. That's the local position of this. Oh no. Oh no. I think I just saw what I did. Transform local position, yeah. Oops. Okay, this is not what I want. I want the handle.transform.local position. There we go. Handle. And the handle's transform local position is going to be there. There we go. We don't really need to debug it anymore. I think we're good. I think we found the issue. There we go. We can leave ourselves in debug mode though. So we'll see when we click on play. We'll see what it gives us down here. Okay, first off, it's giving us 2 errors, which worries me a little bit because that's not supposed to be the case. Secondly, handle look at has put itself to non-functioning. Okay, I see what's happening here. All right. We're trying to grab the information from the handle before the handle is assigned. Okay. Let's check setup. Setup sends us here that checks the rotation and the handle, and get handle sends us here, and if there's already a handle, return the handle. Okay, so I should be able to just take that, do the setup first, then get the local position, and then everything should be Gucci. Give it a little time to have a think, and we're going to go back down here to look at the initial position, press on play. Let's see if handle look at script stays enabled, and if the initial position looks correct. It does look correct. Right, -2, 1, 0, 3, and that was what we were looking for earlier. -2, 1, 0, 3. There we go. So, let me double check. Is held. This sends itself back to initial position. Okay, let's give it a test. Put the controllers on. Get into VR. Here, grab this, and if I let go of it, it stays in place. If I grab it and let go of it, it stays in place. If I grab it, okay, it is at the right place now. If I grab the handle, I'm moving this. If I let go, it's there. If I grab it and you can't see my hand, but I'm moving it way out here, and I let go, and it's there. We go. It is there. Perfect. And now I can open two at the same time. Oh, this is good. Okay. Very cool. That's it, actually. That was the big thing we wanted tonight. So we do officially have two handles on these wooden cabinets that are fairly simple to add on. Like, get out of debug mode here real quick. All you really have to do is have a handle look at script, and it adds itself a rotation clamp. If I'm not mistaken, look at it needs a rotation clamp, and these things actually generate themselves a little container to hold stuff with, and they place themselves back after you release it. So these seem to be working perfectly fine. Theoretically, mind you, if we were just to put a handle look at on this, it would set everything up for us. And then all we'd have to do is move the square up here and it would work. Theoretically. I guess you'd also have to set up the rotation clamp stuff. But yeah, that is what we were trying to do tonight. What we're going to try to do next week, I think, or is it? I was going to say what we're going to try to do next week is do this, but it might be really simple to just add in the rest of the code for the bottom drawers here. Let's give it a test. Let's give it a test. So go into project. We have handle look at. We're going to have handle follow, I guess, would be the next thing to try to do. C# script handle follow. Right, so we have the look at, and it's not going to load the follow. Thank you, Unity. Let that load. There we go. And we're going to reuse quite a bit of this. Actually, let's just copy all of this, because the only thing that's really going to change is that instead of doing a look at, we're going to have a translation kind of thing. So handle follow, let's put this here. Yes, we also want that added in. we should have one more, error down here. That added in, and we set it up. So it's going to create the box we wanted and stuff. It's going to get the local position. And if it's held, we're not doing look at. What we're going to do is we're going to have the transform position attempt, mind you, to reach the position of the off thing, the other thing plus the offset. Let's see. Rotation clamp, we want translation clamp. Translation. Right. And we're going to rename these. Let's go into here. Rotation clamp is going to be translation clamp. As such, and we're going to replace all of them. Thank you. We should still get errors. That's perfectly fine. And how exactly does this one work? So we have initial position, okay. Update transform local position equals init local position. Okay. Grab all this. Rotation clamp. Okay. Let's see. So is held equals true, is held equals false, and in here we have a look at for that. So all we should have to do, let me just paste what I have here before I forget. Clamp local position, that'll be from the translation clamp. Plus, and then we're going to, that must be private, okay. Clamp local position. My brain is loading. I shouldn't try to do this in the last 20 minutes. Okay, so look at position, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to... Okay, so this is down here, right? Local Euler angle, offset. Here. And what I can do is go over here and have a set position, local position. Transform dot local position. Man, my brain does not want to follow right now with what I'm trying to do. Okay, we're going to set the position to the handle's position first off. Handle dot transform dot track position. I'm sorry. Handle dot transform dot position. Okay, so that position is that, and then we want to clamp it. So we're going to do local position equals this plus this essentially, and we're going to add in one more, grab this like that, and it's not going to want us to do that. So there's two things we can do. Either we're going to make these public, or we are going to make a new method that's just essentially set clamp or something. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Clamp local position here. Okay, yeah, let's do that way. So public vector 3 set clamp. And that is going to do the two things that we were talking about. This right here. Though we shouldn't have to actually set the clamp because that should be happening after. I think the only reason I was doing it in the look at is because I didn't trust myself. Let's do a test. Let's do a test. Let's do that, right? Because it should work without having to clamp it at all. So let's do that. The handle follow is going to move. It's going to move the transform position of the object. This, yes, to the handle position. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, let's try that. So we have the translation clamp here, and we're going to add to that the handle follow right here. And we're going to address the errors here. Are they staying? Okay. Cannot implicitly convert rotation clamp to translation clamp. Okay, that's fair enough. Translation clamp. There was an error there, and it seems like it is a true error. And not all code paths return a value. That is because we didn't do it in the end, so let's get rid of that. As such, and now this should be back to relatively normal. Let that load. Sorry if there was a lot of background noise there. Okay. And we are going to, it has added our little cube. We're going to take that little cube, we're going to move it out to here. Ideally we'd put it just over these, but for now what I'm going to do is stretch this out as such, so you can like grab that and move it. I don't know how this is going to work out. Let's click on play and see. I think we're going to have to add in the offset. I think we won't have a choice. It's just going to shoot outwards otherwise. Same as with the rotation. So far so good. Okay, let's take a look. And we were also trying the rotation, so that's 2 in 1. I'll start with the rotation, and if that works, great. Otherwise, we'll go back and it'll probably explain this. So I'm grabbing it, and it went out. Okay, we do need that offset and clamp and stuff. And if I do that here as well. Oh, I'm sorry. This is working though. If I let go, it just stops. And it doesn't go any further. It doesn't go out. I can move it around. I can do whatever I want. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. The rotation definitely needs fixing. Let's do that right now. But the translation seems to do it just fine. So we don't actually need to do all this clamping stuff afterwards. Just move it and we're done. Look at these ones. We do need on. And one last time before we call it for the night. Wait for that to load up. I'm also interested in all these warnings that I'm getting, though it's probably not to do with what I'm doing here. Time manager. Okay. Sure. So, maximize this. Let's take a look in VR so you guys can see what I've been working on for like 2 sessions now? Maybe more? 3 sessions? I can grab this, I can move it perfectly fine. I can do both at the same time. They clamp, so you can't go above this or below this. And you have to go pretty freaking far for it to go crazy, but by that point, like, it feels wrong. It feels like it should be breaking. And you can, yeah, just like, let's open this one up, let go of this one, close this one. Here we go. And I can open and close this perfectly fine. Very cool. I think, okay, so right now I'm just going to grab it. Yeah, it does come out a little bit. So I will need to add the offset on it in the end. I do need to add the offset, is what that means. But other than that, guys, we have officially gotten a cabinet to work. And not only that, let's get out of the maximize view here. Not only do we have this fully functioning cabinet, but I think the rotation clamps work better than the hinge joint stuff that we had here. And we have a really quick system to set everything up. Like, say I want to oops. Say I want to remove this. Stop clicking at the wrong place. Here we go. Remove component, right? And I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm like, I have a drawer. I want it to be able to move. And I already have the translation clamp on it. All I have to do is handle follow. Add that on there. And select my handle. And just move it into place, right? Real quick. Whoop. Over here. And whoop. Over here. And we're done. That's all we need to do. I'm thrilled. that has actually gone super well. I'm happy with this, and I feel like I'd like to revisit it, just because of the handle follow offset stuff. It felt a little bit. Oh, these ones over here. It felt a little bit off, but mostly it is working well. Working cabinet, yeah, only took, what, a month and a half? Joking, good work, keep it up. There's no joke there, it took a month and a half. That's what happens when you do things at chunks of 2 hours a week. It's slow progression. But yeah, the handle look at stuff we could use on all the doors moving forward. It doesn't have to be just those wardrobes. Anything that rotates, and plus I also added in this up, where is it? World up thing. I should probably name it something else than world up, like rotation from or whatever. But because of that, if ever we have like anything that we want to clamp the rotations of, but rotate in a different way, like the thing that I'm getting to mind is these windows that they have like in dorms, where it's like you have the wall there and they open up to be like this, opening that way, like a mailbox or something. We could still use this. It's still useful. We just have to change a few variables and we're there. I'm very happy. I'm very happy, mostly considering how wonky the joints, the hinge joints were compared to this. This is just, it feels really good in game to be moving it. It feels like proper cabinet doors. So I think we're going to leave this here for now. We have a functioning cabinet. The bottom drawer is a bit weird, but it functions, and I'm going to be lazy. I'm not going to touch it anymore. At least not this week. Probably not next week. Next week I'd like to work on something else. Like, we'll put the cabinet in and then we'll take a look. Maybe we could have, I can't remember if this fireplace actually opens, but maybe we could open up the fireplace reusing that. We could potentially use this on here. Let me see, commode. What do we have in here? We have commode LOD, we have box 1, we have box 2. Yeah, we could definitely reuse the drawer stuff on this and make them very interactable. Something that might be interesting down the line is maybe add sound effects that have to do with that. So like squeaking when the door opens, or sliding noise when you're moving that, and base it off the current velocity. But nah, right now very happy. So for those of you who have been here in the stream, I know there's been a few, even though Joe's the only one who's been chatty. Thank you for dropping by. And for anybody listening to this in the future, thank you for the listen, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.